As hardworking students, we truly believe that we should not have as much workload put on us on a given day. As students, we not only strive for academic success, but simultaneously incorporate extracurricular activities in as well. We suffer, in a sense, due to the combination of schoolwork, extracurriculars, assessments, and projects that we must have completed perfectly every day. We understand that teachers have their agenda, and they must assign and teach certain amount of work. However, it could be much simpler. For us students, time management and effort are our biggest factors to having finished work. We can continue saying the struggle is real, or we can search for compromise. When our folders look like this, our minds do as well. Here's what 9th grade health teacher Mr. Grunzer had to say.
Should teachers plan for large projects and assessments to not run at the same time?
Ideally, we should, but we all get sort of caught in the same trap with the weather delays, and all of a sudden you realize the end of the semester is coming near, and you're trying to catch up and get stuff done before the finals take place. And sometimes the best laid plans don't turn out that way.
Have you ever talked to other teachers in regards of the students' workload of the week?
If there's one student that's having particular problems, and we've got some information that this youngster struggles in certain things, we might rearrange some things. But for the most part, I think a lot of us work insular. We're all sort of worried about our own subject matter.
Would you ever consider changing a deadline if it seems as if your students have large projects or assessments on the side?
Absolutely. I think all of us do. We know sometimes where we have to just tweak things a little bit. When we had those couple days that we didn't expect, we couldn't keep to our rigid schedule because we all weren't there.
Here's what English teacher Mrs. Reich with similar views had to say.
Hi, Ms. Reich. Should teachers plan for large projects or assessments to not run at the same time?
I think that it's very difficult for teachers to plan around other teachers because we all have things that we need to accomplish in our individual classes.
Have you ever talked to other teachers in regards of the students' workload of the week?
Yes, but mostly that is, I would speak with my English coworkers versus, instead of science, only because they're right there. Like if I know that a student of mine has a modern literature class that I'm teaching and also is in Mrs. Hefner's modern literature class, I would speak with Mrs. Hefner about how we can accommodate that one particular student, but I don't do that for everybody in every subject.
Would you ever consider changing a deadline if it seems as if your students have large projects or assessments on the side?
Yes. Now, and I understand where you're coming from with we've had all these delays and everything, but now we're coming down to the end, so there are going to be projects and assessments and things that are all falling at the same time only because we only have a week left with you guys, so we have to cram it in, unfortunately. I would definitely offer extensions to certain kids if they would come and speak to me directly and say, listen, this is what's going on. I don't know if I'd necessarily do it for the whole class because then I feel like people would take advantage of that.
Here's 9th grade social studies teacher Mr. Thompson with slightly different views.
Should teachers plan for large projects and assessments to not run at the same time?
It's kind of difficult to do that, especially with the class when you have a certain agenda that you have in place to follow. So, can slight adjustments be made if necessary? Yeah, a day, maybe two in some cases, but it would be difficult to do it all, to base your whole thing upon what everybody else is doing.
Have you ever talked with other teachers in regards of a student's workload?
It has probably come up, but not, I'm going to say not that often, and I can't think of any time recently. But when I also consider this, I think about the fact that students in our current situation only have 5 classes. And at one time, not long ago, they had 8. So there's actually less to be concerned with now. At the same time though, because it's a more concentrated course, deadlines are going to come up quicker. So I guess in reality, there's more likely a chance for conflicts than there was in the past.
And would you ever consider changing a deadline if it seems as if your students have large projects or assessments on the side?
Sure, like I said, and it would probably, not by a great deal, but because of the fact that if you put something off too long, it loses its meaning and context, and also to remain on schedule to some degree. Although generally, when you're talking about projects, it's not as essential like a test. A test, and I look at a test and a project totally different, because a test, it's got to be almost done in a time frame, because when you're done with that course, that area of study, then that's at that point you need to test on it. You wait too long there, and again, then you're really getting outside of the realm of the context that you were working in. With projects, though, that's a little different. Adjustments can be made.
From teachers' perspectives to student perspectives, we can now say that the struggle isn't nearly as real as it was before. In fact, some teachers, if not all, would be more than happy to work with you on a one-on-one level or accommodate your needs as an entire class. There's no need to drag your feet across the halls on finals week, because your teachers are there to reassure that you'll be okay and you'll do just fine. It's okay to be stressed out, but the minute it becomes too much to bear, let your teachers know, as they would be happy to eliminate and/or help your struggle by guiding you to the road of success.